This episode of Horror Movie Talk is brought to you by David.
David. It's not David. David. Honestly, David. 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 Don't David. 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 Oh my God, is that David?
Hello and welcome to Horror Movie Talk.
An opinionated and accidentally funny horror movie review show. Go, 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 go.
The stroll through the scraggly woods. He had no face! Horror!
Sabrina, don't just stare at it, eat it.
New theatrical releases always get priority.
But we also review older horror movies, both good and horrible.
Wow, that didn't sound good.
Hello and welcome to Horror Movie Talk. Your panel of expert hosts each week are me, Dr. Bryce Hanson, and across from me sits David Day, the foremost expert in scare.
Is this our musical episode?
And a cool thing you may not know about Horror Movie Talk is we have the very best community of any podcast you've ever listened to. You can check that out on our Facebook group. Just type in Horror Movie Talk Facebook group or something like that into Facebook and you'll get there. Today we will be reviewing 13 Ghosts, baby. That's right. Matthew Lillard's going to be screaming in your face about something and drooling everywhere like a big dumb animal. You should check out...
You think I'm retarded?
A little bit. You should check out our website, horrormovietalk.com. From there, you'll find links to all of our social media. You know, you can get on our LinkedIn, no problem. We do have second Saturday watch parties where we watch a movie with people every second Saturday.
Yeah,
it's on
check out the horror movie group because the announcements are going to be there.
Yeah, streamlounge.io. If you haven't signed up for an account, that's the thing you need an account for to participate in those watch parties. We post new episodes every single Wednesday. So make sure to subscribe to us, leave us a review on Apple, and we'll love you long time. If you'd like to get a hold of the show, call us at 682-253-4468. I'm slurring my words. I'm tired. I had a bad sleep.
Oh.
Because my arm hurts because I did a bunch of work, and now my arm hurts.
Oh.
I had a real bad sleep. But anyway, but we have a great show either way.
Do you want to go up and get some coffee?
No, I have a feeling that would make me feel worse.
Oh, okay.
I won't burp anymore. I apologize for that. We'll cut that out. We'll start out the show by giving a brief review.
Oh, you don't want to talk about the bodily fluids exchange?
And our belch? Oh, yeah, we have a bodily fluids exchange at 252-228-4628. My apologies. We score on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being bad, 5 being average, and 10 being so good that it transcends genre boundaries. After we give our score, we'll get into spoilers and take a deeper dive into what we liked and hated about the film. And later in this episode, we will be doing one of my favorite little games called Bad Reviews for Good Movies. We're going to be doing Alien this time. Yeah, so excited about that. Have we already done Alien? Can you recall?
I don't know. I don't remember
either. Anyway, there's a ton of bad reviews for it, and we're going to read them. As I said, we watched 13 Ghosts on HBOMAX because it just recently hopped on HBOMAX. We pre-recorded this episode by a lot, I imagine. And it is exactly what I thought it would be. I had never seen this movie before. Had you?
No.
You'd never seen this?
I only remember it from like the advertisements when it was coming out, and it looked awful.
It looked awful, but it turned out to be like Ghost Ship meets Event Horizon with a side order of Wrong Turn. So without any further ado, let's get into the trailer.
There are ghosts around us all the time. Most of them, they can't hurt us. Most of them don't even want to hurt us. But there are exceptions.
Is it bad tonight?
Oh, bad? It is my professional opinion. We should get the hell out of here. Now.
I represent the estate of your Uncle Cyrus.
We have an Uncle Cyrus?
Cyrus recorded this message 6 weeks ago. He asked it to be played for you in the event of his death.
Arthur, I've instructed my lawyer to deliver my last will and testament.
A key?
A key to what?
A key to your new house. This house is the fruit of my life's work.
Oh my God.
It is a one-of-a-kind home.
It's marvelous, isn't it?
Wow.
Arthur, we've got some papers to sign in the library. After that, I would love to take you and the family around on a tour of the house.
This place is awesome.
All right, now I know I'm dreaming.
Oh, your uncle was quite a collector of many things.
What the hell was that?
This Halloween,
You're wasting your time. It's all sealed up.
the only thing worse than being trapped in a house with a ghost
This house is not a house. We're in the middle of a machine. Powered by the dead.
is being trapped in a house with 13 ghosts.
Maggie! What? We got company. Where? I can't see. How close is it? Close enough to hurt you. Go, go, go!
And it counts up to 13.
It counts to 13, and explosions happen. Matthew Lillard yells at people. Blah, 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 blah. 13 Ghosts is a movie about a ghost collector who leaves his massive house to his distant relative family who think they're getting a sweet deal. What they end up getting is royally fucked by a house that is full of a bunch of ghosts.
13 to be exact.
No, 12.
12.
Idiot. Did you even watch the movie?
Sorry. False advertising.
Spoilers, there's only 12 ghosts.
I was expecting a baker's dozen of ghosts, and I only got a dozen.
The house is made to trap them and do some sick, twisted stuff. But luckily, Matthew Lillard is here to shed some light on this quandary. Matthew explains that he is a ghost feeler and regularly touches ghosts. He helped their uncle collect all these ghosts, and he feels bad or something and wants to help them. The house has other plans, and wacky hijinks ensue. Everyone gets more 13 ghosts than they bargained for. My review for this movie is 13 Ghosts is no doubt remembered fondly by a bunch of old Zoomers and young millennials who were impressionable whilst watching this, but let me assure you, it's fucked. This was directed by Steve Beck, who, the very next year, in 2002, directed Ghost Ship.
And then he stopped directing altogether.
Altogether. A.K.A. Ghost Boat, if you've listened to our Ghost Ship episode. And by the way, we did record a review of Ghost Ship. So now we've literally reviewed all of Steve Beck's work.
And it just leaves you questioning yourself, like, why?
Yeah, why? But here we are, giving him the time of day.
We could have chosen any horror movie.
Interestingly, I'll tell you why I chose this movie. I love Nightlight Horror Movie Club. Love them.
Yeah.
I am a Nightlight Horror Movie Club member. Mm-hmm. I'm also a Patreon member of theirs. And I had to watch this before they reviewed it because I didn't want them to spoil it for me. So I did that. And I was disappointed as they were. So I'm going to be like, but luckily I have a big advantage in that they've done a bunch of research for me, and I'm just going to parrot it.
Okay.
Back at you. Steve had only directed commercials before this movie, and after, like I said, he directed Ghost Ship, which is basically a reskinning of 13 Ghosts. He never directed again, like we said, and that's a good thing. 13 Ghosts is jump cuts and loud noises mixed with edgy, barely explained lore, mixed with dog shit. All of this could be excusable if it was fun or interesting or funny, but it's none of those things. It takes a $42 million budget and wastes it on the dumbest set pieces you can possibly imagine. As a result, it feels expensive, but not in a good way. In an animal print on furniture way.
It's like if it's a leopard print couch, but it's actually made of leopard.
Right. You're like, this is a strange choice and a poor fabric, but it's expensive, so I guess it's good? The acting is hammy. The actors are bad. The premise is shockingly thin, and the scares are undermined by jump cuts and ghost vision glasses. I'm sorry if you love 13 Ghosts, and I'm sure there are tons of you who are like, this movie made me a horror movie fan, and that's great, and I'm happy for your nostalgia. But everyone has different tastes, and this is just not for me. If you love this, please keep loving it. I'm happy for you. I just don't like it at all. Bryce, how do you feel about 13 Ghosts?
I'll take the opposite route. If you love this movie, I'm going to implore you to stop loving this movie. It's awful.
Ooh, that's just not going to play well. They don't like that. They don't like it when you do that.
Just don't like it.
Ooh.
Everyone has their opinions, and that's fine, but this one in particular, you're wrong.
Oh, no.
You can't blame everything on having been pigeon-toed, David.
I can and will.
Did you give your score?
My score for this movie is maybe not as low as it should be. I'm going to give it a 3. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 3.
I'm going to give it a 2.
Wow.
Because it's not even... I find very little redeeming qualities, and it just bothered me so much.
Do you know, so Dark Castle...
It's not a 1 in that it's like utter shit, but it's very close. It's very close to being utter shit.
It's not good. It's not a good movie. It does have some cool little pieces here and there, but man, even the cool pieces are kind of undermined by fucking bad decisions. Like there's some tits shown, but they're not even real tits. They're like sculpted tits. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, not that that's a great choice or anything like that, but it is mildly redeeming when you're talking about a movie that's just like garbage.
This movie feels like an extended commercial for a haunted house attraction.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It's like if your local fairgrounds was advertising the haunted house, be like, come get the scares and chills, and it shows like these stutter cuts of people in like kind of shitty makeup and costumes, and
yeah, so
it would be like that except for an hour and a half.
Right. So like you know how like Disney lines, they have all these you know, so like the Star Tours line. Well, this is like a $42 million Star Tours,
right?
For a spook house, right? And when I want to be clear, when I say they're fake boobs, I don't mean they're
well, they're both. Like it's they're
definitely
fake. They're definitely fake.
Fake, fake boobs.
Well, I don't know. I think there's just makeup on them. I don't.
No. These are plaster cast. These are not real titties being shown. They're like a costume titties over the tits.
Huh. I thought they would just do the scar makeup. I don't know. I didn't look that far into it, but I'll take your word for it.
Interesting piece of trivia about this. Dark Castle Entertainment, who no doubt you're familiar with, was created, and this was their first film. This was the film for which...
the House on Haunted Hill was the first one.
My apologies. 1999 House on Haunted Hill. Yes, but and I went and saw that one in theaters.
Was that the one with Liam Neeson and Owen Wilson?
No. It had Catherine Zeta-Jones, I think.
Okay. I don't think I've seen that one. I always get those mixed up. There's one with Liam Neeson and Owen Wilson, and then there's, I guess, one with Catherine Zeta-Jones. I don't know.
Here, let's
unless they're the same movie.
Anyway, in any event, yeah, it's not great. I don't love it. I wouldn't recommend it, but man, it's something to put on in the background, I guess. But it's not a good decision to watch 13 Ghosts under most conditions. But I'll give you an option for a good decision that you can do in place of watching 13 Ghosts. You can head on over to nightchannels.com. And from there you can choose any number of shirts and sweatshirts, and they have all kinds of super cool, interesting, and incredibly unique prints from horror movies.
Wait, it's The Haunting of Hill House, I think it was.
Yeah, maybe that. What did you say?
I said House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah, wait, what? No, it's not The Haunting of Hill House. The Haunting of Hill House is a show. Anyway,
well, no,
I'm in the middle of a Night Channel spot.
All right.
You can find all kinds of horror movie shirts about horror movies, shirts for metal bands, alternative bands, Sonic Youth bands, kind of bands, and so much more. The occult is there, and if you enter HMT at checkout, that gets you 13% off, which is the spookiest percentage, certifiably the spookiest percentage, and you get I mean, some of the most unique designs I've ever seen on shirts. I have an Alien shirt, I have a Tremors shirt, I have a Mayhem the band shirt from there, and I'm gonna buy more because I get 13% off when I enter code HMT at checkout. And they've been supporting the show for a long time, so check them out, and see what you see. And you know what? Just surf around the site. That's all I'm telling you to do. You don't even need to buy something, but I guarantee you something there will pique your interest, and you'll be back, and you'll use code HMT at checkout. Longtime sponsor of the show, Shudder.com. That's SHUDDER.com has all the best streaming horror movies and shows for your entertainment. I've been having a real blast on Shudder lately. I just got done watching Nightbreed, which is a Clive Barker written by and directed and inspired by his story. It's a great movie. Also, The Endless, which is just a fabulous existential kind of UFO/alien based horror movie done, I think, in 2016. Which is really, I would recommend everybody watch The Endless. And then also Fried Berry. I just got done watching, and again, South African directors and filmmakers, something about them. They really get depravity. And so those are, and then Carrie and I have been watching Channel Zero, Candle Cove, which is the first season of Channel Zero. And that's just a spectacular Sci-Fi Channel original show that is really spooky. So all of that you can find at Shudder.com, and if you enter code HMT at checkout, you get a 30-day free trial of Shudder, and instead of that stupid 7-day free trial. And so check it out. They got tons of great content over there, and I guarantee you'll be signing up because it's real cheap after the free 30 days. It's like $4, $5
right.
a month, something like that. So it's just a no-brainer if you're a big horror junkie. Shudder.com. You should also know that if you are listening to these commercials, you do not have to. If you become a patron, there's an option. There's a certain level of patronage that's $6.66, where you get early access to shows, and you also don't have to listen to any commercials. We cut them on out. You can also listen if you sign up for our $30 a month tier. You can get access to reviews of movies that we don't release to the public. So movies like Ghoulies and Basket Case. These are movies we've covered in the past, and they're all still available over there. We also got the Afterpod on Patreon, and that's probably the best way to support the show directly with your money. Another way to support us directly is to head on over to horrormovietalk.com, check out the shop, buy a shirt, buy some stickers, buy some coasters. We got Trick or Treat Sam from Trick or Treat as a coaster over there. I think we have some Scream coasters as well.
If you peeped the featured image for this episode, that was drawn and, illustrated by Dustin Goebel. He's our resident artist who fucks hard. He's awesome. He takes commissions for HMT fans. Definitely a lot of great commissions he's done for our fans. He's done the Cannibal the Musical. What else did he do? There's a couple other montage ones that were just really amazing.
Yeah, I can't recall off the top of my...
Check him out on Instagram at dgoebel00. That's at DGOEBEL00 on Instagram, and reach out to him. If you want to leave us a voicemail, again, the number is 682-253-4468.
I was wrong about Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I was.
But it does have.
Let's talk about it in the spoilers.
It does have Lisa Loeb, who sings nursery rhymes to my kids now.
Here, let's get into spoilers so we can clarify all this.
Okay.
Spoilers. Okay, so
it's got Chris Kattan.
Yeah.
House on
The Haunting.
The House on Haunted Hill.
Wait. House on Haunted.
Wait.
Yeah, House on Haunted Hill.
House on Haunted Hill. It's got Chris Kattan, Taye Diggs, Lisa Loeb.
Yeah. So to clarify, House on Haunted Hill is the one that was made before 13 Ghosts. That was a remake of was it Frank Castle Pictures?
Yeah, it was an older movie.
A bunch of classic horror movies, and it just was not successful after 13 Ghosts. The one...
Before 13 Ghosts.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think this one and 13 Ghosts made almost exactly the same amount of money, and just wasn't enough anyways. The one you and I were thinking about was called The Haunting.
The Haunting.
And that was starring Liam Neeson, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Owen Wilson, and others.
God damn. Really? Banging cat.
Also a really bad movie.
Bad movie. Bad. Although, I was watching that in theaters with some friends, and right before a jump scare, my buddy wet his finger and wet willied my other buddy in the ear, who leapt up and screamed like a child, like, it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my life. Oh, The Haunting.
Okay,
Good
so
time.
13 ghosts. So it's 13 ghosts.
13 ghosts. Yeah.
Because it's got 13 in the middle of 13, so it's 13 ghosts.
Like 7 is
Yeah.
7.
Seven and
then so stupid. Dude, this movie opens up and it immediately establishes that it's like, if there's a contest going on for the most turn of the century, like mid-2000s movie, well, I'm the top dog. No one else can touch me. No one can touch me. Because it's like, it's got Matthew Lillard, man, and he's just like, oh, there's a blood truck, man. There's a truck that shoots blood everywhere, and I can see ghosts, and my head hurts.
This is one of those things where it just makes me question reality, because there's a set of people that keep mentioning 13 Ghosts. Like, you guys gotta cover 13 Ghosts. Like, yeah. I've got such a soft spot in my heart for 13 Ghosts. And I don't think...
Where did you think this was going?
Did
you think we'd be like, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I gotta say, 9 out of 10.
Right.
Doesn't quite reach masterpiece level, but we're right.
It's
we're
one of
right
those
there.
Where, like, you don't realize how trash it is, and that there's really actually no redeeming value in it. It's not even like kitschy or over the top. It's just bad.
Yeah.
And the same way that people talk about this movie is like, no, people hate 13 Ghosts, but it's actually, if you give it a chance, that's the exact same way people talk about Matthew Lillard for me, to where I'm like, I feel like I'm getting gaslit, that I'm like, no, how could you not like Matthew Lillard? And the box that I put Matthew Lillard in is extreme, like, to the point of just being annoying, overacting, and shtick. And just being so
Schlock.
over the top
Yeah.
and, like, yeah, just overacting. Like, I would put him on the Hall of Fame of overactors, and I say that, and people are like, "Oh no, I mean, it's just fun." Blah blah blah. So it gets to me the point of like, well, maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe I haven't seen him in that many things.
And then
I've seen him in
13 Ghosts.
I've seen him in Scream. I've seen him in Hackers. I'm like, well, maybe I've just seen like all the really like, you know, over the top movies where it is shtick and that's what's required of him. And I watched this movie and it's just confirmed to me of like it's just hard for me to watch. It's so annoying to me.
This is the most
just the mugging, like he's a huge mugger.
Yeah.
Of just like just like whatever reaction that you'd have, he takes it up to 12.
He goes, acting is overacting.
Right.
Yeah. This is the most expensive schlock that has ever been made.
In terms of like people that can only exist in the 90s, Matthew Lillard is one of those. Like he matches the tone of the movie perfectly. And like, there's nothing out of place for this in this movie. It's just annoying.
And the thing that needed to happen to Matthew Lillard happened.
Right.
Like
he was Shaggy.
Yeah, he became Shaggy, and now he's just a Shaggy voice actor. Although I think just recently, I think he got that taken away from him. I think it's going to.
Well, someone else was cast.
The torch is being passed, or something like that.
Sure. I'm sure he'd be a great voice actor on like any number of things.
Oh yeah, his acting style is voice acting.
Right.
Basically, it's just, we don't need to see any of this. Just hearing it is it's overdone, and that's what you need for voice acting. That's why Mark Hamill kills it as a voice actor. And no shade on Mark Hamill. I'm just saying he's really good at voice acting. You know? He's really good at it. Really, really.
This movie, like, it actually is a collection of all the actors that bother me. Like, to the point of, like, there's just something about that actor in particular that just bothers me.
Boy, that's the damn truth.
There's Matthew Lillard, there's Tony Shalhoub, and F. Murray Abraham. Like, not terrible actors. F. Murray Abraham isn't terrible. He's a good actor, but there's just something about him that bothers me.
What about Shannon Elizabeth?
And Shannon Elizabeth, like, she is who she is. She doesn't bother me necessarily.
Her teeth are perfect.
Yeah. She's got like the most pleasant face and smile of like almost anyone. Like it's really impressive.
Something about the 2000s, like talent acquisition agents were just like, I'm going to find the hottest girl next door ever, and we're going to put her in everything.
Yeah.
And she is the poster child for
right.
that. So everybody's a hammy actor, with the exception of Shalhoub, who.
No, he's hammy in a different way, though. It's like he's got his own shtick, and he's exactly the same as like he is in Monk. You know, in this, it's like it's Tony Shalhoub.
Were you a Monk watcher?
I watched a couple. It was all right.
Same here. I vaguely remember it being. It's just like a Columbo ripoff, like a low, like a no. It's Columbo if he didn't have any self-confidence.
Yeah, I mean it's those type of mystery movies are such like cookie cutter thing, and it really depends on like whether you like the main character, and I get it. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's I could see people like really liking it.
Yeah, people really like that one show with the doctor who's like a dick. I could never.
Oh, House. Yeah, I liked House. It did some interesting things outside of just like the
Did it?
The formula.
Did it?
Yeah.
I think Scrubs did that, but House is.
Well, Scrubs is a different thing.
See, this is how
procedural.
Boring,
yeah, that's the thing.
This is how
like,
boring 13 Ghosts is.
We're talking about Scrubs now.
We're talking about Scrubs talk.
Yeah. I saw something on Reddit where people are like, people give House all the credit, but really the groundbreaking one was Scrubs. I'm like, do you not know ER existed? Like this is not. They're all like copying previous hospital dramas that have gone back to.
And if you like ER, then did you not?
And they're all really
General
copying
Hospital,
right? Exactly.
Existed.
Anyways, so 13 ghosts.
So we get an establishing shot. It's F. Murray Abraham collecting ghosts with our ghost feeler guy, Matthew Lillard, and they're in a junkyard, and they got a ghost box, and they got the bait, which is a blood truck that shoots blood everywhere, and then it's just basically the Velociraptor catching scene.
Yes.
From Jurassic Park, where a bunch of people die, but it's okay. We got the Velociraptor cage,
right?
We got the ghost in the bucket,
yeah.
And then the house gets, and then this guy dies. F. Murray Abraham dies, and he leaves this house to Tony Shalhoub and his incredibly hot and old daughter, Shannon Elizabeth, and her young brother.
It's one of those things where you look at. I mean, there's casting, then there's casting. Like you can suspend a lot of disbelief, but looking at Tony Shalhoub, and you're like saying, could any genetic material from Tony Shalhoub exist in Shannon Elizabeth? And you're like, no,
but the little kid makes sense.
Yeah, a little kid he could do it.
A precocious little, like, super annoying kid that looks like Tony Shalhoub.
But like Tony Shalhoub, like it's the most appropriate last name for what he looks like. What do you look like, Shalhoub? And then Shannon Elizabeth is like a goddess.
What
is that on the nose?
What do you look like? Shalhoub.
It's almost like I would almost believe that that's like a Yiddish word that describes what that guy looks like.
He was born, and they just saw his dumb little face, and they're like, "Oh, that's a Shalhoub for sure. He's giving the old Shalhoub."
Oh man.
Oh man.
So
I'm sorry. We're normally more composed than this.
So they go to this house, and it's the most 90s concept, like, or early 2000s. I guess it's early 2000s.
They should have said
it feels like a 90s music video. Like there's nothing more 90s than this movie. It feels like it could be a Spice Girls music video.
It's a house that, like, okay. You know how Justin Bieber was like a kid, and he was like also like the richest kid ever, and he just had way too much money, but he was also like a kid. This feels like if a kid had way too much money, he'd be like, "I want to build a house out of glass."
I really like windows.
Then everybody's like,
everything's a window.
What? But surely you'll have like walls around the toilet, and he's like, "What? Did I stutter?"
Did I stutter?
I'm Justin Bieber. God damn it. And they're like, "Well, you do it." He's like, "But not only just glass, like write some incantations on that shit. I don't care what it says. Just, I don't know, make it Latin. Something I don't understand. I don't want to like have to think about."
Like someone's questioning him. He's like, their entire livelihood depends on Justin Bieber, and he just turns to him after questioning his glass house, and he's like, "You need to ask yourself if you're a believer." Do you believe in Glass House?
Glass house. You better run, fat kid. Glass house, he coming for you. Champa.
It's like it's this thing where you started to be able to do some stuff with special effects, where it's like, oh, look, we can make mechanical things look kind of believable. And so believable. And they just go to the nth degree with it. Let's make everything look like that.
Yeah.
And now it's like back then it'd be like people would be impressed by this, and now it's like this is so dumb. Like, why? It seems so like
it's not even
extreme.
It's not even a cool look,
right?
Because it's not scary at all.
It's like living inside the Hellraiser box. It's like everything moves and everything clicks on itself and everything shifts and turns, and it's like, yeah, but why? Like, what? Does that add anything to the movie?
And the answer to why is we want our protagonists to be safe while still being able to see the villains that can't get to them.
Right.
So we got to have invisible barriers that you can see through so that we can showcase these ghosts. Oh, but you might say, oh, how can you see a ghost? They're invisible.
No.
Well, good news. We have an equally...
No movie has ever shown a ghost before to where they could see it.
Good news.
It's impossible.
We have an
impossible barrier.
An equally retarded way for you to not have to suspend your disbelief. We're going to give them ghost glasses. More glass is the answer. Glass house. More glass is the answer. And so they give them Oakley frames, basically, with lights on the inside. You can tell they're special glasses because these frames shine lights in your eyes. And these frames allow you to see specters, ghosts, spooks. And so that is our second dumb choice of like, it's not scary if you're not walking around without the glasses on your fucking face.
Well, did the Nightlight talk about the circumstances behind that?
Behind what?
The glasses.
I don't know. Maybe.
So in the original 13 Ghosts, it was a
because this
3D
is a
movie.
This is a revamp from a 1960s-ish movie.
So part of that, they had the gimmick where you had the 3D glasses and you could only see the ghosts if you're wearing those glasses.
They did say that, which is a really cool concept.
Yeah, which is a cool concept. And they were going to do that with this movie, and then they just abandoned it. Oh. But they have those glasses. But you got to have glasses as a thing, as a plot point in the movie, so you just put it in. It's really dumb.
Yeah,
it's really dumb. And where did they get all the glasses? There's like 5 pair of them that just kind of appear over time.
Well, that makes perfect sense. If you're going to live in a glass house full of 12 ghosts that you can't see, you're going to just sprinkle those things around like goddamn salt on steak.
And like, okay, the most annoying thing with this that just does not hold up and is like, makes it near unwatchable is how they edit the ghosts. It's
the ghosts, how they edit anything.
But especially the ghosts. Anytime a ghost appears, it's this, like, again, it's like a music video, like trailer, like movie trailer thing where it's like
chopped up,
the stutter cut of their head shaking really fast, or
and then slows down,
and it's like, and it's got like the sound effects on it, like, you know, and it's got like all these stutter cuts and quick cuts and jumping back and forth and zooming in and zooming out, all within the space of like a half second.
Right.
And that's every time it shows a ghost.
Yeah.
Every time.
I kept asking myself.
And they show them all the time. It gives you such a headache. It just makes you want to, like, jump in that gear shift, you know, in the end of the movie. You're like, I would
kill myself,
not to save anyone, just to end my life after experiencing these fucking ghosts.
Well, the most confusing part of the editing in this is it completely ignores what's scary.
Right.
Who's going to be scared by these weird, like, mini montage clip shows of a spooky thing wiggling around real fast?
Yeah.
It's just completely ignores the mechanics of what's scary.
Right.
That are well established. It's not like they didn't know what was scary. It's just they completely ignored it in favor of like a quote unquote cool aesthetic that unfortunately kind of became the norm for a while. You know, it's just like, oh, and that's why I think movies from the, you know, mid to late 90s and into the, you know, mid 2000s were just, they're bagged on heavily, you know. It's because
it's definitely a thing, and it's like, you know what movie this was like, except somehow is light years better than it.
This is better than a movie?
No, a movie that it's like that is much better.
Oh,
is Bats.
Oh yeah, Bats is so much better than this.
Yeah. So
who was in Bats? What's his name?
Oh, Lou Diamond Phillips.
Lou Diamond Phillips. Man, I could. Man, can you imagine if we got to watch Bats again instead of this piece of shit? Holy God!
I would gladly.
Oh my God, I would too.
So yeah, then the ghost, and then it's like, it feels like the director, the producers are really thinking like people are going to be super into this because look how interesting these creature effects are, or these creature designs are.
Yeah,
and it's like so. Okay, I'll go back.
Some of them are kind of cool.
Some of them are kind of cool, but it just looks like bad makeup. Like it looks
real bad makeup,
real bad,
and it's well lit.
Yeah, yeah.
So it does itself no favors, and any like cool factor would be like learning something about these things.
There's backstories for every single one of them that it's not in the movie.
Right. They made like a website or something like that, or put it on the back of a cereal box or fucking something.
And this is why I go back to, this feels like a haunted house attraction.
Right.
It's like if you were to have like 12 rooms in this house and you were advertising it, you'd be like, this house features 12 ghosts that were trapped, and here's the backstory of each ghost. Mother and big child, they codependent, and they died this way. And
codependency, dun dun dun.
And this guy, he worked on the railroad, and they died, and they put railroad spikes in him. And it's like all this stuff that is completely unrelated, but it's meant to be like, we're going to do these special effects, and we got to come up with a storyline and attach each of these rooms together somehow as like a thing. Same thing with like Disney's haunted house attraction.
Oh yeah,
like it's got these set characters, and you're supposed to be like, okay, that's enough to enjoy.
Yeah,
because I'm going to go through and experience it. Except it's not a haunted house; it's a movie, and doesn't give you enough to engage with the actual movie or care about anything.
So as they sign the deed, the house, the lawyer who has them sign the deed goes to pick up some money, his fee for the, and he takes his fee, which is a fucking assload of money, off of like the brakes. The house has like a brake pedal, and so now we're all gas, no brakes anymore, and the house has shifted into, we're gonna open up the doors to the ghosts, and so it does in a timed way. First it lets out the whore, and then it lets out the other ghosts that I don't know their names.
It's a steady drip feed of
more ghosts.
13 ghosts.
12 ghosts.
12 ghosts.
And as they are released, wacky hijinks ensue, and they never. You know, sometimes some of them get to like Tony Shalhoub and it's like I'm scratching his back, but too much. I'm gonna
there's only one that actually kills anyone.
Yeah,
and then there's one that scratches him a lot.
But
there's no real like threat other than one guy dies.
Right. The lawyer. And actually, this is a very ghost ship moment.
Well, yeah, I guess there's that one too. I was thinking about Matthew Lillard's character. He's the only one that actually dies because a ghost kills him.
The actual actions of the ghost. Yeah.
The lawyer just gets cut in half by a glass door.
Very, like a total ghost ship evisceration. So what happened was, Beck, the director, did this bisecting of the lawyer, and it is a cool effect. Like it is a cool moment where he gets vivisected by a door. And then vertically. And so the front half of him falls down and you see all of his body all bisected, and then it falls down too.
Yeah.
And then the very next year, he's like, boy, that scene worked real well. And he opens up Ghost Ship with now we're going big and we're going home. Like,
when did Cube come out? Because isn't that the same thing happened in the Cube?
Right around this time. I have a feeling Cube was maybe 98. Let's see. Cube was Canadian. Oh, no, you got your phone. 97 was Cube. What's going on with that? What's happening?
That's the phone ringing.
So, do people just call that phone?
Mm-hmm.
Like landline people?
No, it's not a landline. It's my Google number.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's overly complicated. So cool bisection. That I will give. That's a full point right there. But then I mean, it's just a series of ridiculous stuff. I'm not even going to go into explaining it. There's a girl that gets in.
It's literally just people looking at ghosts through glass walls and being scared and being chased by ghosts.
And Matthew Lillard hams it up so hard. I've never seen Matt. Have you ever seen Matthew Lillard? I haven't seen SLC Punk.
I mean, you got it. I mean, I think Hackers is worse. Hackers was
a horrendous movie.
Uh-huh.
Was that worse than this?
Oof. I don't think the movie Hackers is worse than this, but it's a very, very bad movie. And I saw it in a sneak preview at Lloyd Center Cinemas. And I got a poster.
I don't understand what that means. A sneak preview?
Yeah, it was before it came out to the general public. They had a special event where you could go see Hackers. I don't remember how I got it, but I did. And they gave a little poster after you came out, and I had it hanging in my bedroom for a long time. Yeah. And it's probably like, why would I even hang that? Because it was an awful movie.
Did you realize it was an awful movie in 1997 when you went to go see it in a sneak preview?
Yeah, I think even then I was like hanging it ironically because it was just an objectively bad movie. But
95. Yeah, God damn!
It's a movie that's
Angelina Jolie in it.
Yeah, it was like her first movie. Yeah, that movie is a movie that you can go back and watch for the kitsch value and like really get enjoyment out of how bad and hammy it is.
It had Penn Jillette.
It does have that aspect. This one doesn't have that. It's just like, this is painful to watch.
Well, it doesn't have it for you. Let's be fair. It has it for a lot of people.
Sure.
So the house won't let them leave. It's constantly shifting automatically, shifting walls and doors and letting people into places. And, and the bottom line is...
and also we never mentioned that every single wall is covered in writing.
Yeah, Latin. I mentioned it.
And they never really react to it very strongly in the beginning. I'd be like, what the fuck? Anyone got a razor we can scrape off all this shitty writing on my house?
This is my house, right?
Can we just get some paint and paint over these glass walls so that we can actually have some privacy anywhere?
It's acid etched. You're not getting rid of that. That's into the glass. So the bottom line, this house is a machine that is powered by the dead to presumably open a portal to hell.
Do something, I don't know.
And it needs 13 ghosts. It has 12. It's powered by the 12, but the key to the house, the opening the portal to hell or something like that.
See, I was confused because it's
confusing.
I thought it gave contradictory information that you'd have 12 ghosts, but the only way to stop it is if you sacrifice yourself.
Maybe.
Oh, no. I think I just figured it out. The woman that told the guy that's the way to stop it was in cahoots with F. Murray Abraham, so she was probably convincing him to sacrifice himself because that's the final piece.
You need the 13th.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
The only smart thing in this movie.
Wow, so smart we didn't even catch on. We were just being bombarded with retardation.
Oh,
yeah. So...
Did you think I'm retarded?
Yes. And so the bottom line is the kids, the very bad acting little child and his incredibly hot sister get trapped in the heart of this house where there's a bunch of spinning spherical knivey things.
I love how they just kind of disappear and you never see what happened to them or why they were captured or like how.
Shut up.
It's like, no, they just appear at the end. Yeah. They're in the trap now.
I don't know. To be honest with you, this held my attention so loosely that I can't say that I really, if I'm wrong.
Let me guess why it held your attention.
Can I see one today?
I gotta say, like, you got Shannon and Elizabeth in your movie, and that's one of the things that you're thinking about. It's like, all right, let's show us some tits. So it's like, we know that Shannon and Elizabeth is here, so... ... And they almost do. They like do some really exploitational shots of her getting scratched and her bra kind of being pulled down. It's like,
Yeah, and they show her arms a lot. They're like,
I like to see the arms.
Yeah, we like to see the arms. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But at the end, Tony Shalhoub manages to somehow leap into this machine that's literally impossible. Like, it's moving at an incredible speed, and he shouldn't be able to do it. But things happen, and then the movie ends. So, Bryce, what are your final recommendations for the 13 Ghosts? What do you say? What
else we got?
Yeah, don't go see this movie. It's unironically a very bad movie, and don't see it. So, without any further ado,
yeah, I think like even this, it's not even fun from like a group viewing, like make fun of it situation, because the editing is so painful to watch. It's literally like jarring to the point of like being nails on a chalkboard that I can't imagine sitting through it like for enjoyment.
Bad. Yeah, it's
and I feel like an old person saying that, but like I grew up with this stuff and it was excessive.
It's tough to look at.
Yeah.
It's really a chore. They make it very difficult to watch.
Right.
So without any further ado, let's get into bad reviews for good movies. Wow, that was good.
Yeah, I like that.
Look at us. So today we will be looking at bad reviews for the movie Alien. 1979 tentpole classic. Ridley Scott, Sigourney Weaver coming in as one of the first huge female protagonists, heroes.
She is very tall.
And gorgeous, and and some people have some bad things to say about it. So what I do is I go just head on over to Google, look at Google user reviews. These are not professional reviews, but these are people who did not like Alien for whatever reason, and we're going to find out why. So let me move my mic here. Here is I'm not even going to read that one. That's ridiculous. Deshaun Hickman, you should be embarrassed. DVD and Film Bloke, a year ago, gave it 1 star. He says, it may have been effective back in 1979, but now it has aged as well as milk, with the only exception being the visual effects, which still look amazing. It is way too predictable and ticks off every horror cliche in the book. There is very little else to the story and the characters that make it worthy of a second viewing. It has a lot of those cliches because it made a lot of them. I would argue, but to each their own. TV or DVD bloke. Cynthia, whose last name I cannot.
Krasmalski.
Yes. Also gave it a 1-star review. Says, I wouldn't even give any stars if I didn't have to! ! Alien TV is the worst! ! It's very frustrating when you're watching a program and it keeps freezing up and then comes back on, or it just freezes up and you can't get it back at all! I guess you get what you pay for. I will not renew.
What the fuck is she talking about?
Alien TV, Bryce.
Alien TV.
Yes.
Wow. Someone's mother is very confused.
Saeed says, never heard of it. No one has ever mentioned it until I searched up the word alien today. I mean, no one even watches this in my place.
Wow. Can I read some?
Please, yeah.
Nina Koloji says, garbage movie. Ooh. So boring. Alien showed up for only 45 seconds and only did jazz hands to scare man with blowtorch. Okay, she's got a point there.
She does have a point there. To scare man with blowtorch. This is just being read as is. Yeah. Joshua Hurd says, worst movie. I made a better one in my backyard. Wish he would show up for more than 3 freaking seconds.
Lila Plays wrote, worst movie ever in the entire world. It's so bad I want to vomit from it. I wish that it is taken. Don't y'all. It's so bad, 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 bad. It's like the Addison Rae she should be in this movie.
What? I'm not going to lie. A little bit of what Lila said was incomprehensible. I'm noticing a pattern.
No punctuation.
No. And
Zero.
You read that exactly. You got all the bads in there. Isabella Bailey says, I am 4. You are 3. Joe Mama is 2. Joe Dad is 1. And your brother that will be born in 9 months is 0.
Okay, well.
Interesting.
Strong criticism of Alien. Allison Hurley says, I've never seen this movie, so can someone tell me why it's rated R when it doesn't seem that bad?
Oh, help her out. Can you tell her? Jonathan Garduno says, I hate aliens. They scare me. I mean, they're my biggest fear for real.
All right.
I'm gonna move to 2 stars. You stay here. I'm gonna get to some that. Let's
Dr. Rashid Kumar Mishra says, nice move and mysteries behind.
Oh, here's one. David Clark gives a 2-star review. He says, like Jaws, it received huge recognition. I fail to see why. More of a sci-fi than horror, but neither captures the imagination of a sci-fi nor the scare of horror, but more like gross and intense at times. Thank you, David.
Okay, I don't think I'll be able to beat this 1-star review, so I'm going to stop giving the 1-star reviews. This is from Shri Redikarpatil. 1 star. If you pooped in the bushes, the poop would be this movie. I don't think I can beat that. I'm gonna copy paste that into a future review. That's gonna be. I almost wish I used that on 13 Ghosts.
Can you read it again? Say it.
If you pooped in the bushes, the poop would be this movie.
I don't know why, but the bushes help it. It's like a Walt Whitman. Mackers03 says, just not as good as people say. Shri Prem says, it is a really good movie. My family and I even told our friends. 2 stars. Yeah, so a lot. What these bad reviews tend to boil down to is people who are confused about where they are, what they're reviewing. Mm-hmm. Or people who just, they don't feel heard and they want to let you know how shitty the movie is, you know? Let's see here.
If you pooped in the bushes, the poop would be this movie.
Cruz says, I think it was this movie, but when I was 6, I watched it. I walked in a room and was like, cool boy, I was wrong. I was traumatized.
How did he spell traumatized?
Very hard to read, traumatized. I have not watched it yet, lol, but I'm looking forward to. 3 stars. My videos are kid-friendly. I hope you like them, says Lena Doherty. 3 stars. So there you go.
Okay.
Bad reviews for good movies.
It takes all kinds.
It does.
And it really explains why a lot of people love 13 Ghosts.
It does. Oh, actually, well, hang on. Wait, I wonder.
We should do an inverse.
Wait,
good reviews for bad movies.
What would the bad reviews for 13 Ghosts look like? Would they look like a bunch of sane people? Like, are they going to be like? Hang on, now we have to do a little bit of sleuthing here. I'm not going to let this one go. Here's a good review for 13 Ghosts. Let's open up. Okay. Danya says, I thoroughly enjoy this. This is for 13 Ghosts. Mm-hmm. I thoroughly enjoy this movie. No matter how many times I watch it, I am a horror movie buff. Love a good scary movie. Love the backstories of the ghosts, which, by the way, you don't get in this movie. I wish the movie had gone into more of this. If you can find the extras that were included on the DVD, it gives you all the backstories that makes each ghost unique. I know this movie got bad critic reviews, but I never really pay attention to them. Just watch the movie without any preconceptions. This is not ultra scary. No, it is creepy and has a good spooky feel. The special effects were great. Very interesting concept. Kept me intrigued.
I won't read this whole one, but this is from Rain Bilson. 20 years later, this movie still holds up. Not sure what the negative reviews are about. The environment and creativity is unmatched. Remember watching this when I was 13 on DivX, the disposable discs. Yeah. And she goes on, but
here's a bad review of 13 Ghosts. This is Meeknat. This deserves 0 stars, but gives B movies a bad name. The only good thing was it was free. True.
See, this is the problem, is that there's not many 1-star reviews because not a lot of people watch the movie.
Boring. No horror at all. Yeah, that's also true. Jada says, I don't know, because I've never seen this. It's my first time.
Yeah. So a lot more good reviews of the movie.
Yeah. Huh.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for joining us for Horror Movie Talk. We appreciate you. If you are a fan of the show, or if you'd like to help the show, go ahead and share it with a friend. That is the thing that helps us the most, right up there with Apple reviews on Apple Podcasts, or Stitcher works too. Mm-hmm. If you have an Android phone, we'll take what we can get. You can also support the show by supporting our sponsors, nightchannels.com. HMT at checkout gets you 13% off. And you can, of course, become a patron, buy stuff at horrormovietalk.com/shop, or go to horrormovietalk.com and click through the link at the top of the banner. It says buy stuff on Amazon. When you buy stuff on Amazon, after that, we get a little bit of your a little commission for that. So that helps us out. Thank you. Special thanks to Nightlight Horror Movie Club for showing me this tremendously horrible movie and giving me tons of laughs. I love you with all my heart. That's a great podcast. You should check them out. And finally, if you'd like to get a hold of the show, you can do so by calling 682-253-4468. Here's Bugsy with the Horror Movie Talk Anthem. Have a good week.
Looking for a podcast full of burps and gas, perverted cast, skinny and fat? Look no further. Horror Movie Talk is accidentally funny, begs to donate money, fake sponsors for dummies, and so much more. New episodes every hump day. They'll pickle your dickle for foreplay. Patreon members have it your way. Vote for a movie every month for the review. Choppa choppa, don't just stare at it, eat it like a taco. Put your tongue through the phone, hoodie, Picasso. Look at them hot kids, swear not a pedo. Got me too'd with Cosby eating jello. Pudding Pops done gave Bryce flatulence. Drain addict Dave doesn't give a shit. 1 through 10, is it horrible or excellent? Oil me up, daddy, is dinner rum. Kiss, Bryce Hansen. Look at them hot kids, Chris Henson. Masturbate with a crucifix, exorcist. Face huggers, chest bursters, alien. Linda Blair peed on Sigourney Weaver. I know it's true cause it came from social media. Patrick Bateman can't understand you. Stab you to death for rotten apple reviews. Opinionated podcaster with a doctorate. Spookology Doctor of philosophy. Bad gastritis, need colostomy. Turn Patreons into human centipedes. David Doobie Day, scare him, no expert. And Goble fucks hard, professional sexpert. Afterpods, taglines, and porno flicks. American Psycho, them guys pretty sick. Chopper chopper, don't just stare at it, eat it like a taco. Put your tongue through the phone, hoodie, Picasso. Look at them hot kids, swear not a pedo. Got me too'd with Cosby eating jello. Pudding pops done gave Bryce flatulence. Train addict Dave doesn't give a shit. 1 through 10, is it horrible or excellent? Oil me up, daddy, is dinner rubs. Nothing good happens in the woods. Always get more than you bargain for. Got a pickle to dickle, machines tickle bitties. Killer on the phone, ain't no Sharon Stone. Vancouver, Portland, Oregon, and organs. Corona, COVID, curse, Lorona. Green River Killer, because reasons. Hallway of poop monster kids screaming. Ain't your ordinary dingleberry itinerary. 30-day shutter and jump scares ain't fucking scary. Time for the spoilers with jokes and tropes. Use their white socks to catch their loads. Just show them one titty, pretty. Paganism you should worship, they Teflon dicks. Pacific Northwest, let them see one breast. Shifty eyes stay spooky, poor man's digress. Bugsy, HMT, horror movie talk. Hold on, they don't like Halloween. Fuck them.